All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kodash, double honors to the elders and apostles of greatness stone. Shalom to the elect pushing this word in truth and in sincerity, with the hope of receiving mercy for Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai is the name of His only begotten Son. You so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the Israelites according to the prophecies that are written in the scriptures. I want to make it known that the RFID microchip is the charagma written about in Revelation 13 verse 16 and down. The miracle jug is the precursor to the charagma. Yahweh Shai, whom the world ignorantly called Jesus, is about to make his return upon the earth to deliver his elect and to pour out judgment as it is written. So I want to go straight into this lesson dealing with the signs of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, because these signs were foretold and now they are coming to pass. And even up to what day I was reading this precept and it reached to the point of earthquake, and the thought came to mind and I said, it's a minute now, I'm not too hear about an earthquake, but once you type in earthquake is shaking around the world, yo. It's just not being reported on the level that it's supposed to be reported on. Because right now, you take a look over there in Afghanistan, in which I'm going to run a clip so you can see what's going on. You can see the hands of Yahweh Shai in the earth in these last days. So this is 2 Ezra 9 verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproar of the people in the world, and this is taking place right now, earthquake and uproar of people in the world right now. Just take a look around the world, yo. Take a look on Zimbabwe, take a look on Peru, take a look on Venezuela, take a look on, I want to say, Sri Lanka. And you see uproar, yo. Take a look over there in Ukraine. Take a look over there in Australia. But these things are not reported on heavily, yo. But you have a lot of things going on right around the world right now. People protesting against these measures being implemented on them, yo. Stripping away their so-called rights. But the catalyst behind this all is going to be the famine coming from all these different things, yo. From the earthquakes, from the pestilence, from these wars. Because every one of these things are going to have an effect on food, yo. Trade, import, export, you understand? But a lot of people don't really look so far, yo. The scripture said the prudent man foreseeth the evil and hide it himself. But as you can see, majority of the earth population are not prudent, yo. So a lot of things will catch them unaware. Verse 4. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginning in wonders and powerful works, and ending in effects and signs. And people don't understand, so these are the powerful works of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. But as it is written in Zephaniah 3 verse 5, the just Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning doeth he bring his judgment to light. He faileth not, but the unjust know no shame. Because people are not going to regard that is the Lord shaking the earth, yo. Causing so much casualties, yo. So let's run this clip so you have an understanding of what's going on.
are injured. The Minister of Interior saying those numbers overnight, a 5.9 magnitude earthquake rocking Afghanistan's southeastern province. At least 1,000 people are dead, more than 1,600 are injured. The Minister of Interior saying those numbers are
at least. All right.
Expected to rise as more information trickles in from remote villages. The search for survivors is underway. Some local residents say the quake left them traumatized. It was midnight when the quake struck, said this woman. The kids and I screamed. One of our rooms was destroyed. In Kabul, the Taliban holding an emergency press conference. The Prime Minister sends condolences to the victims' families and those who have been injured in last night's earthquake, said this official, and praises God for granting them paradise. The Taliban government promising around $1,100 to the families of those who've died and $500 to families who've sustained injuries. But the people of Afghanistan were struggling long before the earthquake. Severe drought and the collapse of the economy plagued the country with a high poverty rate and food shortages. A crisis that's gotten worse since the U.S. left and the Taliban took over.
There's a drought that's happening that's causing significant food insecurity for the people here in Afghanistan. Endemic and pandemic diseases that are affecting people's lives here. It is a whole, a long list of factors that are making life very...
I listen keenly. 3 things in point out just go him said drought lead to a famine. Him said the pandemic go back to a pestilence. And what cause this right now? The earthquakes. So watch now, I'm going to go into the scripts because the Lord foretold that these things are going to be signs, for his return. But enough people not count and mark these things, This is Matthew 24. I'm going to go straight to the point. Verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. So all these things, the famine is going to be right around the world. Pestilence right around the world. That's what I have right now. A pandemic, Whether I don't want to call it fake or not, the effects remains, The food shortage remains, Earthquake in diverse places, different regions around the world, But people don't understand what's really going on, These are all signs from Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, in these last days. Now, what's this sign represent? Verse 8. All these are the beginning of sorrows, Who understand what's coming behind the beginning of sorrows? Let me make Ezra paint the picture beautifully, So this is 2nd Ezra 16, verse 18, straight to the point. The beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? And you don't want to ask yourself those things in that time, You want to be on the right side of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. Is it open for deliverance, Because it is written in Amos 3, can evil be done in a city, and I, the Lord, have not done it? Showing you who is bringing this judgment, But as the scripture said, the unjust know it, no shame. So let's go back to this clip.
Difficult here for the Afghan people.
The UN estimates 1.1 million children under the age of 5 could face severe malnutrition this year. NGOs are aiding the recovery effort on the ground.
Well, UNICEF has several mobile health and nutrition teams on the ground at the moment.
But even they admit that giving relief to Afghanistan's more remote villages will be a challenge without sophisticated equipment to support their response. Afghanistan is no stranger to earthquakes. In 1998, an earthquake killed at least 4,500 people in the Northeast. More deadly earthquakes would follow in 2002, 2005, 2009, 2015, and even earlier this year in 2022. But this earthquake could become Afghanistan's most deadly in more than 20 years.
Con il segno della croce.
In Vatican City, the Pope mentioning the victims during his weekly general audience.
E prego in particolare per quanti hanno perso la vita e i loro familiari.
I pray in particular for those who've lost their lives and their families. He said, I hope that with everyone's help, the suffering of the Afghan people can be alleviated. A suffering we're only...
The Lord not hearing none on the prayer, yo. Who the money I pray to? The Lord not listening, yo. The Lord is the one bringing these plagues, yo. What's wrong with you? Let me go up further just to make you understand. Alright, this is 2 Ezra 16. This is 2 Ezra 16 verse 8. The mighty Lord sendeth the plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? A fire shall go forth from his wrath, and who is he that may quench it? He shall cast lightning, and who shall not fear? He shall thunder, and who shall not afraid? The Lord shall threaten, and who shall not be utterly beaten to powder at his presence? The earth quaketh, and the foundation thereof. The sea ariseth up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also, before the Lord, and before the glory of his power. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, his arrow that he shotteth are sharp, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the hands of the world. Behold, the plagues are sent, and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. And they're upon the earth right now, whether you want to believe it, yes or no, yo. So hope this was edifying, just showing you the times you're in. What I want to say, Kalalal, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kodash. Shalom.